Hello everyone, welcome to Monday Market Must Knows. My name is Merlin Rothfeld, and let's take a look at three important things for the upcoming trading week. Now, we'll start with stimulus. That's right, we've heard about it over the past couple weeks as we're going to have it, we're not going to have it. Last week, President Trump saying no stimulus till after the election, and then the very next day saying we need stimulus to bail out airlines. Well, my guess is because of the election coming up, the Republican Party and the current administration would benefit from having some stimulus there because it makes us feel like, hey, they're supporting the economy. Now, what this really means is injecting capital into the economy to help it grow. As you know, we are a consumption-based economy, and America is driven by consumption. With that stimulus, that means more money coming in for consumers, which could lead us to retail sales. Now, we'll talk about retail sales in a second, but for you active traders out there, if you want to know when that announcement is going to happen with regards to stimulus, I'd encourage you to get President Trump's Twitter feed up because that's probably where you're going to hear about it first. And my guess is you're going to hear more yes and no arguments for it this week, which will cause a lot of volatility in our intraday markets and also maybe over the next trading week. Now, let's move from the stimulus, which could directly impact another aspect of our markets, which is retail sales, spending. Of course, if we get more money injected into the economy for us as retail consumers, we'll go out and spend more. Well, I wanted you to look at this chart because it's rather interesting because we've seen the retail sales numbers plummet over the past 4 months. Now, of course, we had stimulus a few months back, which helped that retail sales go from significant negative to a major positive number. But we've been tapering down very aggressively. And the question is, are we going to go negative here on retail sales if we don't get some stimulus soon? Now, I want to compare this to something that I'm very familiar with out here in California, which is a seismograph. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's how you measure earthquakes out here in California. Now, the seismograph we're going to look at here shows massive fluctuations in the needle that's recording the earthquake momentum or motion. Look at the retail sales number. It kind of looks the same, right? We had this big flat line since 2015, really didn't do much, oscillated above and below zero, and then all of a sudden, COVID hit and we get these massive swings. If we do follow the trend that you see on that seismograph on the top, we're probably going to be going negative. But we have a lot of factors which could support it and move it to the upside. Things like Prime Day coming up in October for Amazon. That's a major spending day. You also have Black Friday for Thanksgiving, major consumption, and of course, the holiday season going into Christmas, again, major consumption. If we do get some stimulus, as we just talked about, retail sales numbers might pop back to the upside. But right now, there's certainly some negative downside pressure on retail sales. Last and definitely not least, maybe the most important thing for the week is going to be earnings. There's a lot of earnings coming out this week, major names, specifically in the financial arena that could impact your portfolio and the overall market sentiment if earnings come out poorly. So let's start off with Tuesday. We're going to come out with the major financials. That's right. Usually earnings season is kicked off with the major financial firms. You've got JP Morgan, the big dog. You have Citibank, BlackRock. Those in green that you see on the screen will be financial companies. You also have Fastenal and Johnson & Johnson. Let's see how their COVID vaccine earnings numbers come out on Tuesday. Wednesday brings us more financials with Bank of America and Wells Fargo, U.S. Bank Corp. You also have United Healthcare, Alcoa, and Progressive reporting. Thursday brings you Morgan Stanley, E-Trade Financial, Walgreens Boots Alliance, Honeywell, and Intuitive Surgical. And normally Fridays are really light. Well, not so much. That's BlackRock, Ally Financial, Schlumberger, and JBH Transportation reporting. There are 95 companies reporting this week. Of course, I'm only showing you a snippet of what is happening this week with regards to earnings. There are many more, and as these weeks progress, you'll see some of the major bellwether names reporting earnings, which could be major drivers for our market. Now, why is earnings season kickoff so critical? Because right now we're all operating off of assumptions about earnings. We've been raising and lowering forecasts for different industries. This week is going to be major financials, and as we've seen interest rates stay very low, that usually means it cuts into banks' profits, and we will see how that impacts those companies going forward with their Q3 earnings. That, my friends, is your Monday Market Must Knows. We'll see you next week.